Look out below because Bitcoin is about to bomb. Let's break this chart down now. What is up, everyone? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today, this early afternoon, we have got to talk about this Bitcoin action because it's getting juicy. And I tell you one thing, I would not be betting too much money on this chart. No way, because this is a dangerous one if you want to keep your hands on your money. Now, those of y'all who know what I'm talking about there, post in the comments if that's one of your favorite commercials. At any rate, this is not financial advice. Anything I say can and will damage you financially to the point that you will end up as a homeless bum living in a cottage-boarded box on the side of the river. That being said, I hate that phrase. Everyone says that on YouTube. I had posted a video update yesterday, and in that video update, I warned about this impending breakout of this micro parallel trading channel. And I did a 20-minute video and was talking about this and where we could be headed. And guess what? I had a full hard drive and my editor kept bombing out and I could not figure out what the problem was. Then I found out that I had all of my old YouTube videos that I hadn't deleted that were already uploaded. I got rid of those and it solved the problem. But while doing that, I accidentally deleted the source video for the new BTC update. And it was a banger, guys. I'm telling you what, it was. So I'm going to try to summarize now that this has played out the way that I thought it would. We'll just kind of take a look at the details here and then give you an update on the positioning of the DJI and the DXY. First off, on the 4-hour chart, here we have it. In fact, let's get rid of my handsome face so I can see all of the chart, and then I'll come back and grace you with my face later on. We have broken this micro parallel trading channel that has had control over the Bitcoin price between these two blue lines for the past several days, ever since about the 19th of July. And so in a parallel trading channel, you have action that goes up and down and just bounces within the channel. And so here we have all this crazy action, a rejection here, a return to the bottom. And then after this 4-hour candle right here, we have plunged below it here. And look, it had pumped almost all the way up to the top of the channel with that red wick. It even made it past the 50 EMA and then it violated it. And this channel has been broken. And we have the first full candle that is closed outside of the channel. We are currently printing the confirmation candle on the 4-hour channel. Along with that, a very bearish stochastic that is entering into the oversold zone. Oops, I want to circle. It is entering into the oversold zone. We also have the MACD that has now gone negative, printing dark red bars on the histogram. We had a high here that stayed up high, and then we had a trend going down. And then we were making a long recovery during the parallel trading channel, the ascending parallel trading channel. And one thing that I was saying in the last video is that you always have to look and see what is happening with the price action during a somewhat strong looking trend on the stochastic and the MACD. Here's what I mean. Notice how we went to the bottom down here, and then we came up out of that bottom. Let's clear this out. We came up out of that bottom and had this nice, strong, extended movement where we stayed in the green, where we went from dark green to light, it receded, but then back to dark, then light, then dark, then light, then dark, then light, then dark, then light. Anytime you change from the dark color to the light color, it indicates a strong movement is dark, and then light means it's changing to a negative movement, a weak movement, where you're heading back to the zero line. So a strong movement on the red is moving away from the zero line. A weaker movement is the light red, where it says we're recovering and moving back to the zero line. So they're opposites. Now, let's look at this entire time period that we came from this low right here to the time where we have now crossed over the zero line. And let's look upstairs and see what the price is doing. Well, notice how conveniently it is all contained in this parallel trading zone right here. Isn't that interesting? So we had the stochastic giving these increasing peaks. You know, it was on this overall rising trend. We had all this green activity on the histogram here that was happening. And all the while, the best that price could do was go up, rejection, 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 and up and rejection. It didn't do anything. It wasn't doing stuff like, say, this, where we have a strong move, an explosive move, a consolidation move, an explosive move. No. We're just bouncing around in this little trading channel, this microscopic trading channel that pretty much forms a micro bear flag. Where's the flag? Here it is here. There's your pole. Here is your flag, like that. And we have just broken out of the bottom of the flag. Now on the next chart, you're going to see, we're about to flip to the 1 day, and you are going to see that this was a microscopic move that is like a fractal of the bigger move. So let's jump to the 1 day chart. There we go. Let's scrunch it down. And now, boys and girls, you can see it. Because if we scrunch way down and pull all of this in like this, now we can see the former flags and the big bear flag. Let's draw the big bear flag. This is like the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. Here's the big bear flag. There's the pole. Here's the flag. Just a waving out in the wind. There it is. And notice how we broke out of that flag formation right there, right? Okay? And then we have the miniature bear flag, which is a fractal of the big bear flag. And here's the flagpole, and here's the flag a-waving in the wind, and it broke to the bottom. So what do you think is going to happen here when we have a fake out, a double fake out, where it looked like the stochastic was going to rise, and then it gave up and went down. And then it looked like it was going to rise again. It gave up and it went down. And this is what I was talking about in the last video. I was warning you that we could have a section similar to this one where you think the stochastic is going to go up and head up here to the overbought, but then it turns back around and goes for another double dunk low. Or like when you have this zone here where it really faked us out coming up to this point and then goes right back down with several head fakes. That's what we're looking at here. And the overarching thing where you know that the head fake is possible is by looking at the MACD. Notice that when we had all that activity, when we got stuck down here with all of this dipping down into overbought, we were in the same zone where we were printing red bars on the histogram. Isn't that interesting? So notice that while we were kind of stuck up here, we were printing green bars on the histogram, but they were indecisive and kept changing from dark to red. Isn't that interesting? So the upward movement here, we did have upward movement in price on this trend, overall upward movement of stochastic peaks, overall upward movement of MACD oscillators with a new peak right here that broke the downtrend. And now we have this. So the indications are, number one, big bear flag. Number two, micro bear flag. Number three, stochastic head fake and bearish crossover. Number four, printing red bars on the histogram with the MACD oscillators crossing over bearish right there. So this is a bearish chart. So that's why I'm thinking that this this is enough evidence to let me know that we're probably going down is the next move, because you notice that what are we up against here? And how far will this go? Well, notice that the momentum is downward, going away from the POC and approaching the red dashed line. All right, so we talked about that red dashed line before. We've fallen off of the purple dashed line. That one's gone. Bye-bye. So now we're going to retest the red dashed line. All right, so let's get rid of my handsome face again. Whoops, dang it. There we go. Now let's jump out to the 1 week, and then we're going to look at the other indicators, and then we're going to call it a day. Okay, 1 week chart. Here we are on the 1 week chart, and we can see, wow, this is interesting. You've got the big black dashed line, you've got the purple dashed line, the red dashed line, and we're so close to it. And this is a very bearish chart. Here is our downward trend that I drew in on the peaks of the MACD, where we see a high, a lower high, a lower high, and what could be forming? Another lower high, as we've barely got green printing on the histogram. And the oscillators are just poking above this downward trending line here that is acting as resistance. And what else do we have upstairs but a crossover coming? Look at the blue line just now touching on the orange line. When those cross over, and if it keeps that momentum, we're going down. All right. This says a change in direction in momentum. So we could be going down into the oversold zone if we get a clean cross like this and clean momentum. Sometimes it fakes you out and it goes the other way. Sometimes it fakes you out and makes it seem like it's going to reverse and go the other way. And then it says, nope, I was just playing. I'm still going down. Just like what happened here. We faked a crossover and it went down. So we can also fake a crossover and go up. But chances are, the probability is that we're going down. And when you look at the VPVR, here's the big nodes right here that we are about to fall off of. And then we notice we have a lot less volume here. And then the point of control sitting at about 10,000. Now let's scrunch this in a little bit so we can change our VPVR, which is the volume profile in the visible range, which means how much trading volume has taken place at a particular price over here, like at 40,000, instead of on a particular time frame like this week. Every one of these bars represents 1 week of trading because we're on the 1 week chart, and every candle up here represents 1 week of trading time. Where it started, ended, and the wicks up and below represent the trading time over 1 week. All right. So as we can see here, there is a slip zone in here where there's not much volume, or in other words, not a lot of trading that happens during this period price range, and not a lot of trading that happens in this little price range underneath here. But if we look, we can see what prices that could be potential stopping points. It's where the nodes are. Here's a little one here at 16,000. Here's one at 13,000. And then there's the big one at 11,000. And right now we're at the one sticking out at 20,000. If we don't hold 20,000, there's one more at 19 at the red dash line. And if we don't hold the red dash line, then all of the people who are talking about coming down here lower, that's where we're going to see that possibly happen. And so the indicators say it's possible because of the bearish crossover, because of the continued downward momentum of the MACD oscillators bouncing off of successive lower highs on the peaks, the fact that we're about to go below the zero line on the histogram, okay? And yeah, that's all. So we're probably going to go down. Now let's look at the evidence on the other charts, and then we are going to be done. I'll bring my handsome face back up here so we can look at the other charts. All righty then. Let's start with the Dow on the 1 day after it has experienced rejection at the top of this resistance line with the blue line. And we have a very bearish stochastic that tried to cross over here, unfurled and gave up, and is still headed south into oversold zone. Here's a bearish crossover on the MACD. So the Dow is looking to fail the 50 EMA on this chart. It's about to drop below that and go down further. Let's see what it looks like on the 1 week. Here it is. You can clearly see the doji candle that has no body right there. That's the one that says we're about to change directions. And then it bounces off of this line, this blue line, which is resistance. And now we've fallen below the 50 EMA on the 1 week chart. And we're headed downstairs, probably going to go and find this 200 EMA line here and test it. What do we have here but a big fat bearish crossover about to happen up here in the overbought zone. And we have the bars on the histogram have gone from dark green to light green, which says reversal. We have the blue line curling over, probably ready to head towards the orange line and do a bearish cross. All right, that is your Dow. Last but certainly not least, let's do the DXY and then we're done. Let's start on the 1 day. DXY on the 1 day, bullish. This is not good for Bitcoin. Why? Because it's crossing over right there and saying, I want to stay up here in overbought. In other words, we crossed over here at the peak and we come down. It's supposed to continue down like that. But no, look at the blue line. It's touching the orange and it says, I want to do this again. So we could have one of these numbers where it flops around and overbought just like it did back here. Do you see that? We kept crossing over, looking like it was going to head downstairs, but it stayed up here. It tried to cross over and go downstairs, but here we had support and it came back up again. Same thing could happen here. Overall, general uptrend, very strong as we're bouncing, glancing off of the 50 EMA. Time after time after time and bouncing up again. And we are sailing far above the 200 EMA on the 1 day chart. Let's look at this on the 1 week, and then we're done. Here's the 1 week chart. Wow, incredibly bullish for the dollar. This is dangerously bullish and scary and bad for Bitcoin. We have a crossover here that is very strong. We have a peak happening. We have higher highs after higher highs going on with the candles, one after another. And it looks like we're pointing straight upward with the MACD oscillators like a jet airplane taking off. And once again, they glanced, touched each other, and now the blue line is pointing up and diverging from the orange line. And the histogram is starting to print dark green bars above the zero line, which says this momentum is not stopping anytime soon. One thing I will note to you is that there is a divergence on this chart. Look at this. There's a divergence. The stochastic peaks are going down and the price is going up. That might be telling us that in the future, in the next month or two, we might see the end of this rip that the dollar is on, the DXY, and we could be reversing. So that is it. That is the story, the picture for Bitcoin. Be careful because all indications is that we're about to possibly test some lows again and go back to bearish as we have broken the macro bear flag and the micro bear flag. All right. Well, I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you are so motivated that you would like to send a super thanks to help and deflect the costs of the production of this channel so that I can continue bringing you the information on the Bitcoin chart, well, you are welcome to do so. But I'm glad to have you. That is all I have for now. I'll be back very soon with some altcoin reports. We're going to be talking about Cadena and some of the coins on the Cadena blockchain that are traded on the CADEX DEX site. Look for it. It's going to be exciting. This is Carlton, and I am out.